Are you planning your first cruise or even trying to book your next cruise and feel like you still have a ton of questions? Today I'm going to answer those most common questions that I actually get asked here on this channel, Cruise Savvy, so you can cruise smarter and avoid those costly mistakes. Some of the most common things we're going to discuss today are what's actually included on your cruise. What are those extra costs that you need to be aware of? What cabin should you book? And what are some mistakes that people make that totally ruin their cruise? I'm sure you guys have lots of questions, so let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Barb from Cruise Savvy, where I help you cruise smarter and not harder. If you love cruise ships, cruise ship tours, and honest advice, make sure you subscribe because I've got a lot more coming. But today, we're going to start with what's included on your cruise. This is one of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time. Is a cruise really all-inclusive? Short answer, kind of, but not really. Here's what's typically included. So you have your cabin, most food, like your main dining room, your buffets, they're all included. Then you have basic drinks, such as water, coffee, tea, and juice. And of course, there's all the entertainment, the shows, the pools, hot tubs, and the endless activities that you have. But here is what costs extra, and this is where people get surprised. Alcohol and soda packages, specialty dining. So outside of that main dining room, you're going to find other restaurants, and chances are you have to pay a premium to dine there. Wi-Fi, your internet connection, that's not free. And of course, shore excursions, except for those few private islands where they don't charge you for parts of them. And let's not forget gratuities, whether you choose to pay for them up front or you're charged daily while you're on the ship. These charges can add up fast. So when you're budgeting for your cruise, don't just look at that basic cabin price. And coming up, I'm going to show you one of the biggest things that most people regret not upgrading. So here's another question that I get all the time. Should I book an inside cabin or a balcony? Here's the real breakdown. The inside cabin is the cheapest. It is great if you like to sleep in the pitch black. Then this cabin is for you. Or if you just want to go on a very budget-friendly cruise, pick an inside cabin. An ocean view is nice, but it's really not that much of an upgrade. However, you can see the outside. You can see if it's sunny or if it's raining, and you can dress appropriately. And then the balcony. Most people feel like that gives them the best cruise experience. And here is the honest truth. Most people that book a balcony love it. I don't hear a regret when they book a balcony. But the people who don't book a balcony, I often hear them say, I wish I had one. But again, if you're on a tight budget or you'd like to cruise more often than just maybe once a year, stick with those inside cabins because you'll get your money worth and you'll get to cruise more often. The next thing that causes some confusion is how does the food actually work on a cruise? Here's the simple version. You have two dining options. You have a main dining room, which allows you to go and have sit-down meals and you have a wait staff, or you can choose to go to a buffet. There are also some complimentary grab-and-go options on your ship, most likely. Depending on your cruise line, for a main dining room, you might have designated seating times. Most cruise lines will have an early seating and a late seating, and some will even add in something they like to call my time dining, and that is where you just show up whenever you want. You do normally have to stand in a line, and you wait for a table to become available, and you can go eat in the main dining room. And yes, you can eat a lot. You can eat as much as you want in these main dining rooms. But here's something that people don't expect. They don't expect some of the extra restaurants on the ship and the fact that they cost extra. They're known as specialty dining. With those, reservations most likely need to be made, whether you make them before your cruise or when you get on the ship. And my pro tip to you is if there is a specialty dining restaurant that you really want, book it early. If your cruise line allows you to do so in advance, book it in advance. And if not, the second you get on that ship, go book it. And also a pro tip for you, If you do want to book those specialty dining packages or specialty dining one-offs, go to your cruise line's website and keep an eye on them because they tend to go on sale. You'll typically, and in most cases, you're going to pay less if you book those specialty restaurants before you get on the cruise. Once you get on the cruise, it's not very likely that you're going to get a discount on those charges. Okay, let's talk about packing. So this trips people up, even me sometimes, and I think I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. What should you bring on your cruise? I'm just going to touch on this because this is an entire video in itself. Here are just a few must-haves. You must bring your carry-on bag with you with all of your cruise essentials. Don't pack everything in those checked bags. I have a video that tells you exactly what you should put in your checked bag. Include your swimsuit in case you want to start your vacation right away and jump in the pool before you even get access to your room. Always bring comfortable shoes. Do not buy brand new shoes to wear on your cruise. Ladies, let me say this again. Do not buy brand new shoes to go on your cruise. If you need new shoes, buy them in advance and break them in. These ships are not small, and you will be walking long distances. And lastly, make sure you're bringing something that goes along with some of the theme nights if you want to have fun and get involved, like clothing for white night. They have 70s or 80s nights sometimes. Some do Western nights. So go to Facebook, join a cruise group that is all going on that same ship, that same date, and you're going to see it being posted. People do their research and they're going to say, we have these nights coming up on our cruise. So don't be afraid to jump in there, especially if you're a new cruiser, and have a little fun. And a quick list of what not to bring. Do not bring your iron or your steamer. I know you're worried about your clothes getting wrinkled, but they will be confiscated from you and you'll have to pick them up from the naughty table at the end of your cruise. Stay away from bringing those surge protectors, those power strips. If you need something like that for a CPAP, let's say, just let your cruise line know in advance or let them know once you get on your ship, and they will be happy to supply it for you, but you are not allowed to bring those. Don't overpack. Don't bring all the clothes for a month if you're only going on a 3-night cruise. You're not going to wear them. Trust me, I do it. I did it. Yes, people overpack like crazy, but trust me, you're actually going to end up wearing the same outfits a few times or reuse those shorts a couple times. It happens. Really quick though, while we are talking about packing, I get asked all the time, what's the best things to bring on a cruise? As mentioned, there's actually an entire video that I did that gives you your packing list and gives you suggestions. I did put together a list of go-to cruise essentials of things that I personally use and I recommend that'll make your trip a lot easier. Of course, things like those magnetic hooks, cruise-approved power strips, because those outlets are limited. We have luggage tag holders and items that you probably wouldn't even think about. So check the link below this video in your description if you want to check it out. It is super helpful if this is your first cruise. And just to be transparent, those are affiliate links. So that means that I do make a small commission if you happen to purchase from there. Now, it doesn't impact your cost. It costs you the same thing. All right, so let's get into some of the biggest cruise mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. Here are the big ones. Flying in the same day as your cruise. If your flight is delayed, you're going to miss the ship. They're not going to wait for you. You see what's happening. Today is March 27th with the airlines at the moment. People are in a panic because they didn't book in advance. So please make sure you're always flying in the day before. Not booking things early enough. Again, some of the cruise lines, their shows, some excursions, and some of those specialty dining restaurants are available for you on their website or on their app, and it allows you to book them early. By not booking them early, chances are they could sell out. Don't overplan. Don't overplan every single second. I am type A. I have spreadsheets for everything. And I do sit there and try to plan every single thing on a spreadsheet. But you know what? The reality is it gets tossed out the window the second we get on the ship half the time. Just leave time for yourself to relax a little bit and explore the ship. And don't ignore those extra costs that we mentioned at the beginning of the video. Budget for things like your drinks, tips, and your excursions. And probably one of the biggest mistakes is just simply not doing any research. Even watching videos like this is going to help you save money and stress. Okay, another great question that I get is, do I need to plan everything ahead of time? And some things, as we've mentioned, is yes, you do. Other things is no, you really don't. So I'm going to throw them back up here on the screen for you. Again, pre-plan your excursions, your specialty dining, and some shows on those newer ships allow you to book your entertainment in advance. Make sure you do that or you could miss out. But leave room for exploring the ship, trying new things, and relaxing. If you want to plan anything, look at the ship's deck plans. Find those little hidden spots that you're going to go to get away from everyone else and just relax and have a nice cocktail or enjoy the ocean breeze. All that to say, cruises are best when you balance both. And finally, is cruising actually worth it? Honestly, for most people, yes, it is. Because you get your transportation, you get your food, you have your entertainment, and you also get to visit multiple destinations, all in one trip. But it does depend on you, because if you like a variety, convenience, trying new places, you're probably going to love cruising. But if you want total quiet, one destination, cruising might not be your thing. And that's okay. All right, those were some of the most common cruise questions that I get here at the channel, but I know that you guys have more. So drop your questions in the comments below, and I may feature them on a future cruise video, or I'll just answer you back right here on this video. If you are planning a cruise very soon, make sure you check out some of my videos that I have where I do deck-by-deck tours of some of the ships. This way, you know exactly what to expect. And please, don't forget to check out my cruise essentials list that I'm going to post below in the description. It's going to save you a lot of stress when packing. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you next time. Happy sailing.